You're listening to Mr. Save-A-Home, Becoming an Agenteur.
Good afternoon, good people. Thank you again for tuning in to Mr. Save-A-Home, Becoming an Agentteur. My name is Navid Moosa. I'll be your host today and always. First off, I want to thank you for listening to this podcast. I know there's a lot of information out there, but you chose to listen to this one, and I really, truly appreciate that. And for those of you, this is your first time listening to my podcast, welcome. And I encourage you to listen to the very first one, trying to get you a background of what we do here at the Mr. Save-A-Home. So one thing I like to do is not waste time, so let's get into it. Today, with everything going on with the stay-at-home order still in effect here in Pennsylvania, and real estate still being considered non-essential, there's still a lot of questions up in the air, but it's something that's being realized amongst a lot of people in general, not just agents, but those who are really independent contractors or just trying to figure out where we are in becoming an agenteur, is stress and or anxiety. For those who know me personally, you know that I've been hospitalized twice for anxiety, and I've been diagnosed with anxiety, like legit diagnosis, not not WebMD diagnosed. And I was given some medication for it, but I just chosen the path of not to take it. No, I'm not that guy that, just believes that everything can be cured with kale and almond milk or anything like that. But I do strongly believe in that our mind is stronger than we give credit for. And now what's that have to do with being an agenteur? What does stress and anxiety and your mind have to do with being an agenteur? Well, it means everything. It means absolutely everything, because you need to have a strong mindset to be an agenteur, to be a real estate agent, an investor, an entrepreneur. You need to not get in your own way. You need to really, really take heed of what you're feeding your mind. And, one thing I learned with having anxiety was that although I did put a lot of pressure on myself, it was just that. It was me putting pressure on myself. Although at the time I blamed everybody but myself. And so there's multiple ways. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, do it this way or do it that way. You should deal with anxiety the way you deem necessary. Only you know your body. Only you know your way of thoughts. We can have all the discussions in the world, but I can't help you, or no one can really help you if you're constantly lying to yourself. So if you tell me this is why you suffer from something, I can only address from what you're telling me. But if you're telling me a lie if you're telling me something that's not even true and you know it's not true, you're just going to get misguided even further and further. When you're dealing with anxiety or depression or PTSD or anything like that, I strongly recommend looking at yourself and looking at who you're choosing to surround yourself with. And when you're in the agenteur mindset, again, the data that we look at is what's going to feed our mind. If you're constantly looking at, this time right now is the greatest depression, or compared to the Great Depression of the early 1900s, it's eclipses the one from 2008 and the one prior to that, and so on and so forth. If you really look at what you are listening to, you can put yourself in that wormhole. You can put yourself in that anxiety bucket without even realizing it. I saw an article that popped up on my feed, and it was talking about, why are we're home, but our bodies are still sore and our bodies are still just feel like we're beaten up. It's because it's actually medically proven from depression. Because we're just sitting there and doing nothing, and we're just letting this bad news just constantly be in our rotation and feeding our brain, it truly can become a physical take hold of a physical aspect of you. I guess at the end of the day, I really just want you to be careful. I would like everybody to really be careful of all the information that's out there. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm not saying ignore it. What I'm saying is do not live in that information. I think in 3 to 5 minutes, you can have everything you need. Never stop educating yourself and feed your mind into stuff. And I mean good stuff, not just generic stuff. Feed your mind what it needs, because, again, I'm not saying medication does not work. What I'm saying, what I found very beneficial to me was the fact that I chose to just use my surroundings and change my surroundings and take control and take accountability of my own actions, of what I fed my mind. So I don't get into this deep, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is going on. What am I going to do? Check in with yourself, check in with your team, check in with your family, just check in with everybody. And you'll be surprised how what you think is an issue with you, it's not that big of an issue. There's people out there, there's always somebody who's going to have a worse problem than you, and always somebody who's going to have a less problem than you do. It is up to you what you want to look at. And all these little actions can really get you into, it can make or break you, as they say. And you can either live in this anxiety kind of stage or depression or PTSD stage, or you can live above that. Yes, anxiety is real. Yes, depression is real. Yes, PTSD is real. And you should not be afraid of owning it. But what you also should not be doing is running away from it or deflecting it and blaming other people for it. You have more of a control of your situation than you realize. And that's how I want you to attack. As an agenteur, every deal that you look at, you have control of those things. You can get into a bad deal, but instead of saying, well, you got me here or this got me here, ask yourself, how did I get here? And usually that answer begins with you. No one forced you to sign a contract. No one forced you to go buy something. No one forced you to go sell this at this price. You make your own decisions. You make your own calls. So be accountable for what you are doing. And I do strongly believe that if you put your mind to it, you can actually defeat a lot of things that are going on. And again, I do believe anxiety is real. I do believe depression is real. But what I don't believe is that you are as weak as you think and you need all these little different remedies to get you out of it. It may take a longer road. However, I think that as they say, the road less traveled, right? So it's easy to do some stuff, but I think looking at yourself and looking at what you're trying to accomplish of this evolution of becoming an agenteur, you'll find more satisfaction at the end. That's all I got for you guys today. So hope you enjoyed it. And again, if you're a first time listener, I appreciate you tuning in. And as always, say the same thing. Never, ever chase the money. Always chase the deal. Do right by the client and everything else will fall in place. Take care of yourself out there. Be safe. Practice social distancing and wash your hands, people. Take care.